Okay, shalom, shalom, shalom. Part two. Part two. Of course, phone kept ringing, kept sending the voicemail. Eventually, it cut off the recording. I'm only gonna probably go 5 more minutes. So I just wanted to end it. I wanted to conclude this, right? I'm not gonna let the distraction. And mind you, sometimes distractions might work in your favor. They're all gonna work in your favor when you truly believe it. But what I mean is sometimes it might have been just ready. That might have been boom, a wrap. But I'm gonna keep going just in case, right? The name. So when we get to the name, we are the name, but we don't know it, right? Makes no sense. Makes no sense, right? Sometimes it doesn't have to. Most times it doesn't have to. That's what we need to learn. See, we can get the order, focus, discipline, masculine part of the mind. Um, just like a woman who has to raise children by herself, she has to be the mommy and the daddy. So what happens? A lot of masculinity begins to get in her. But then what happens? She can't actually operate as her true self. But you see, it was ordained for that to happen. The alpha. God allowed it. Deal with it. Sometimes you might prolong a blessing, but just know you're gonna get there. Just know you're gonna get there. Right? Quickest way is straight and narrow. Boom. It's the quickest way. Wow. Right? And eventually that's the way we're gonna take. But until we get it, until we cooked, until we get the fire on us and prove that we real about this, because it's not gonna look how you think it's gonna look. When I try to explain to people, I have so much reverence. I'm not gonna say respect because God is not a respecter of man, but so much reverence for a lot of pastors that at these mega churches and all that. As much as people may talk about it, but I don't know them. I don't know what they do in their personal life. I don't know them. I don't know how they got elevated. I don't know. I know people idolize them. I don't idolize them. Why is God not a respecter of man? Because flesh can get weak. Flesh is capable of anything. You cannot serve God in the flesh. That's why God, you can only serve God in spirit and truth. So if you operating as your true self, as I said, when a woman has to be both, it has to become a point where you understand, I just have to be vulnerable. I don't know how, when, where, the means. I have to be vulnerable, but I have to operate as God designed me to operate. And give yourself time. Don't beat yourself up. It happens. No, you right where you need to be. You just need to take some time to sit down and know that it's God. As I was saying earlier, I didn't even get a chance to finish the ice. Sit, be still, know that it's God. Then you get in the flow, like flowing water. You flow. You in the flow. And then the last stage, you rise. But that's actually not the last stage of water. It crystallizes, believe it or not. It's 4 stages of water, not just 3. It crystallizes. I'm gonna say it 3 times. And if the person watching that I made this for is really probably stopped watching it, but if they're still watching it, 4th stage of water. Look it up. It crystallizes it. So I call myself the Trinity of water: ice, flowing water, steam. You rise, and then you repeat. You rise, repeat. You rise, repeat. Different levels, different devils, from glory to glory to glory, and you're able to see clearer because you're not. And this is something else God gave me. When they say you're not looking with your physical eyes, you're looking with your spiritual eye, with where your light, where your eye be single, you be full of light. But you're full of light, and but you're looking with your single eye, but you're also looking with your both of your physical eyes as well. You're looking with your spiritual eyes and your physical eyes, your masculine and your feminine. You're working holy as you were designed. You're working in your design. And that's not an easy place to get to. Trust me, I'm on my way there. I believe that. I truly do. But as End it here. As we know, faith, I can only elevate you to the level of your faith, daughter. I can only elevate you to the level of your faith, son. Because I have to honor, even though you wear my name, I have to honor my word above my own name. So God allows it to happen. And you just know Alpha. God allowed it. But that's my past. That does not determine my future. Who determines your future? The same person that allowed it to happen. God was there. Just like God is here now. And God is the Omega, the author, finisher, Omega, the end. So just know you're going to see God again. And you're going to be able to just know it. Really believe that. But right now is the present. That's the present. So although we have the faith, and we're building the faith to know we're going to see, we know how this is going to end. We have to have the capacity to know where energy, where your attention goes, energy flows. That's real. So if you're putting all your attention on the past, which most do, I study a lot, y'all, in a lot of different areas of life. And most do, or the future. How am I going to fix it? With flair, how am I going to fix it? Future. You're not accepting the present, the gift that God is trying to give you. That's what's going to bring you out. And the only way you can open that gift is with faith. Faith works. Faith works. Dual meanings. Faith, yeah, it works. And faith works. Faith in works. Faith works. 20%. That's the work. Order, focus, discipline. Yes, you can't be. I'm not saying you just, oh, God gonna do everything for me. I can just sit down. No, come on now. We passed that. No, you're putting things in order. You're taking it inch by inch, step by step, small, minute steps. Each day, you're planning, you're organized. Ivan, talking about stuff. You're organizing, you're planning. You're giving your 10% time, not just monetarily, but the 2 hours and 40 minutes of your time with God that is not yours. I never heard anybody say that until I was telling my cousin a couple months ago. The day later, I heard, no, I can't think of his name, but I heard a pastor, a big time pastor say that. And I'm not bringing it up because it's a big time pastor. I'm bringing it up because I'm going to put the name in the description. He's good. He's a good guy. Says some very spiritual stuff. How he is in his personal life, or was rather, guy was a soul. I don't know. He died in a plane crash, and it just the name can't come to me. But anyway, he was. I heard it a day later. Yeah, God says 10% of your time isn't yours. It's mine. Just like monetarily, God doesn't need your money. That's a sacrifice. You're sacrificing. How do you show that you care about anything in life? If you want to know, you want to know? Y'all want to know this? How can you tell what people care about? It's where they spend their time and their money. You spend, S-P-E-N-D, money. And you spend time. Whatever the majority they spend that on, that's what they care about the most. So let's turn this around. Like I said, people might look at us like we're insane. How are they sitting there encouraging one another? How are they sitting there this happy? How are they sitting there not saying nothing? How are they sitting there not in? I'm not saying, Keith, sometimes you have to release your problem. You have to, or you will explode. But what I'm saying is, once you did it, then okay, I'm good. I got that out. That's why crying. I don't know if Dr. Savy said this or not, but did you know crying releases those tears. It helps the pH balance in the body. Sometimes crying is necessary. It's not unmanly. I don't recommend you do it in front of people, man. Just being real, just just being real. But it's necessary, and to release that. But then it's like after this release, I'm not gonna talk about it because I don't want to give more reverence to the problem. See, it's time and money where you're spending it. So if you're spending what most people do is spend time on the problem. That's worshiping and idolizing the problem unknowingly. Or even then they say, okay, I'm a little smarter than you. I'm gonna spend it on the solution. Then you still in the future. You're out your lane. Our time is now. Let me say it again. Our time is now. God got the pass. I'm the alpha. God is the alpha. The good God, the sovereign God, the alpha. It's the alpha. That's an alpha. People walk around, I'm an alpha man. That's the alpha. Yeah, get tried. We're gonna see what type of man you are, see if you a real alpha. God is the omega. I'm your end. I'm the end. It's taking care of your future good. You're good. I knew you before you existed, son. I knew you before you existed here, daughter. We had a prior existence. I knew you. I still know you. You just don't know you. You don't know your name yet. You don't know your name yet. That's why we're here to learn and remember. We already had a prior existence. We said, okay, God, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, okay. Had a prior existence, said, we're going to do your will. Okay, okay. And you don't remember it because you knew. It's a part of you that knows, but the real you that knows, but the only way to tap into that is to get out of all these distractions. Think about it. If you were, we already know who the prince of this world is. So you already know what's most important to you. That's why, what was the most important things to people? What when Job was trying to say, if you, I tell you, God, if you, if a person think they're gonna lose their life, I'm telling you, if Job thought I would, a person would do anything to save their own life. Think this a joke? This ain't no joke. You being watched, yeah, God right there, and being, but God is allowing it to strengthen you. But when you're being tried, you got to know this is not a joke. This is saying idolize these idols, curse God, and I'll let you out. I'll leave you alone. The bully said, I'll leave you alone. Then I'll leave you alone, bully. Bully said, I'll leave you alone. Just go ahead and curse God. I'm gonna keep sending all these distractions. Every time you go to do what God told you to do, I'm gonna send something your way. I'm gonna take this, I might take that, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take that. All you gotta do. Denounce them. That's it. That's it. Eat the stuff the world eating up. Watch what the world eating. Eat what the world eating. Listen to what the world listening to. Smell what the world's smelling. Have the senses of the world so you can't get your, not just your sixth sense, you get an above, but you can't get the sense to know God. Be still, know that it's God talking. What God is trying to send you. So if this was easy, yeah, I'm just gonna go on here. I'm gonna denounce. So be, like I say, be very careful as a servant. But when you don't settle, and the stronger your faith is, you get out of that bondage, that slavery mindset we've been programmed with for so long, and you begin to take rule over this world. You begin to see things, and you're like, "Oh, I already know what that. Okay, I already know." Yep. You begin to say, "Yeah." You're coming after my life. You're coming after what I love. But I know I'm coming out. I know they will not be touched. I know these lions that's coming after me, they ain't even got no teeth. This is an illusion. I'm dreaming. Think this is nothing but a dream. This is an illusion. And it feel real. It don't feel good. But I know. Think about the last time you went through something. You barely even can remember it. Because it's but for a moment. The things of this world is but for a moment that you can see. But the invisible is eternal. We got to get out of looking at fleshly and worldly and physical things and start focusing more on the eternal, focusing more on ourselves inwardly. For the kingdom is within first. Strengthen ourself in ourselves. It's your food, the things that are getting healthy, holy. Strengthen ourselves in ourselves that we might be strong enough. He that which is in me, stronger than that prince of the world. Kingdom is in and it's out. But the believers and the people who wear the name of God, wear the name of Christ, they can't see it. A lot of them can't see it. But man sees it not. But you know what? We wear the name. So we're gonna choose to not be a man when we don't have to be a man, meaning a man or woman, not a sex, and we're gonna serve in spirit and in truth. We're going to be the light. Christ told him, I am the Son of Man. I am the light of man. So when others can't see, I'm going to be their light. Christ said, follow me. I am the light of this world. I am the life, the real, the eternal life. I am the life. I am the light. Follow me. Do what I did. Do what I done. I have defeated this world. You don't got to reinvent the wheel. That's why the word's so powerful. Say do. It's already written. The instructions, the manual is Emmanuel. The manual is already there. All we got to do is follow it. We don't have to know where we're going to end up. We have to know that we're truly following Christ. We have to be able to see with the spiritual eye. We have to be able to strengthen ourselves, get ourselves really prepared. Preparation. That's why I call this show preparation for a purpose. Therefore, when we get tested by the world, we know it. We're stronger. It's reversed. We may not feel like it because if we're stronger, we're like, hold on, how can we be in bondage? Because we don't know our name yet. We don't know our name. But when you discover who you are, even when you had a faith, I know who I am, whose I am. But now you have to also discover who you are inwardly, the things you cannot see. Discover your name. Who are you? You are not your position. You are not what man said you were. You are not 9 times out of 10 what you think you are. You are not in any of those titles. Who? To take time. And it's all individualized. Take time to hear what God has to say. Who are you? Discover who you are. One of the biggest things we can do, and one of the best things that we can do is, as much as we want to help, as much as we want to serve, to take time also to know who we are. We can't serve anybody if we're not built up enough. To know who are you really. Have you ever taken the true time to do that? Who are you? working in me too. That's how I know how powerful it is. And when you begin to discover bits and pieces of it, just know, don't ever settle just for that. Glory to glory to glory. Like a little child, just excited with a good imagination, knowing like I don't even know how you gonna do that. I don't know. What you said you about to build this? You about to do what? You don't look like it. You ain't even got nothing. How you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? I don't know. I don't know. So why you so excited? Why you so happy? That's crazy. I don't know. I just know. I don't know, but I just know. I know it's gonna happen. And even the bits and pieces that I might almost be sure of, I'm not even gonna discuss it with you because it's intimate. Because when people try to tell you who you are, what begins to happen, they just see in your past. They're stuck in the past. And if you start believing this, and I'm telling you, no matter how strong you might think you are, enough of high enough of that vibration of people telling you, and we tend to do it ourselves to be like, oh, I know you, I know you. How the heck you know me if I don't know me? How do you know me if I don't know me? Like Christ said, who does the world say that I am? Then Christ asked, who do you say that I am? Teacher, preacher. No, not who I am to you. Christ didn't say, who do the world say I am to them? Who do the world say I am to you? No, he said, who do they say I am? Who do the world say I am? Who do you say that I am? Now I'm gonna repeat that because you really got to digest what I said. Who do the world say that I am? Who do you, dual meanings, say, and only a very select few gonna catch this, that I am? Peter said, for you are the Christ. So how do you know that? Where you get that from? You can only have gotten that from the Father because it ain't physical. You can't know it you can't know it with your physical eyes or any of your five senses. I haven't revealed that yet. See, you got to digest this word. You got to eat it because you're going to end up living it. I'm telling you, when you have a responsibility, when you speak these messages, I'm telling you because I live it. I just got to keep most of it to myself. But you really have to get the meat of these messages because you're going to have to live it and you will be tried. It's already happening. Most just can't see it because everybody telling you who you are. And it's not, most times, it's not even from their mouths. It can be a lie, but I'm just saying, most times they're thinking it. You're thinking all the time, don't even know it. Thoughts are powerful. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are some of the most powerful things you could ever know. And imagine, and people are thinking these things of who you are. But when you say, I don't even know who I am, you're vulnerable. I don't even know. Because 9 times out of 10, you don't. You don't, no matter how talented you might be. For those who wear their fine robes and garments, people idolize their gift. You might be able to sing, dance, jump. Did you know that Lucifer failed? Lucifer was the minister of music, was a minister of light, bringing light, a light bringer. Before Lucifer failed, because Lucifer started feeling himself too much. The pride comes before the fall. God telling you, but you got to be able to hear it. You get too big on yourself. And even though you might be saying you worshiping and I'm spreading the word. And this isn't for that individual. This is just period right now. And if that individual want to keep listening, you're more than welcome to. But now that this is just the end, I said 5 minutes, it might be 30 now. That's how it works. But when I lost my spot, here we go. Let's read. Boom, boom, boom. I don't edit, y'all know that. That's not perfection. Perfection is God. So anyway, so Lucifer failed because he was feeling himself too much and said, okay, I'm the man. You know what? I'm bigger than God. Lucifer was exalted. But you know what I learned about being exalted? It's a difference between being exalted and being chosen. See, Lucifer ended up having pride, and Lucifer began to fall. He fell. Brought one third of the angels with him. God's gift is given without recompense, so kept his gift. But too blind to see it. What blind? That the blind God. Because when you're fixed on the past, or you're fixed on what you're going to do, because that's the future, that's why the now is wide open, y'all. That just came to me. Let's go. See, when people do you wrong, yeah, you might be elevated, you might be exalted, and they may have to in some form bow to you. But like I said, you don't know what it's gonna look like. And when people do you wrong, I'm telling you, they fixate it. It's not even them. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. I'm telling you, that's why all them phones get to ring and all this stuff happening. Because now this is spiritual warfare. We can't fix it, man. We can't fix it. In flesh, we it's not up to us. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, principalities, the evilness, and all them high places. And where in high places? And where in high places? Where our places? Where our places? And we gonna bring them principalities down. We're gonna bring them princes of Baal entities down. Nobody ever told me that. Where I get it from? A lot of stuff I know I don't talk about, but a lot of stuff is delivered to me. At first, I thought that's what I thought. I'd be somewhere and for millions of people watching and all this. That's an ego talking. You gotta boom, boom, boom. The ego is necessary for certain things. Everything is given, everything has a purpose. You just gotta learn how to use it. But anyway, the princes, principalities, the princes, and Baal's entities, bring them down. And you don't gotta make one move. You gotta do one of the hardest things that it is to do. And I'm gonna end it with this. Gospel simple. Simple and easy are so different. It's so simple. What you gotta do? Let go. And literally let God. Sounds so cliche, sounds so simple. One of the hardest things hidden in plain sight. Let go. You can be in bondage. You don't know when you're coming out. You're vulnerable. You can be hurt. You still got a job to do. You still got a life to live. Especially when you're like, I did not hurt nobody. Why they coming at me like this? I didn't even do nothing to you. Why is everybody coming at me? We wrestle not against flesh and blood. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. I'm going to say it 3 times. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. Didn't say they wasn't going to wrestle against you. If you choose to take that wrestling match, you will lose. If you engage in the ignorantness, you're getting engaged. You're marrying to things. When you engage something? What is it? A period of time. You engage in something for a period of time, you're gonna marry it, just like the word. You will marry it. Talk to myself. I told you I always talk to myself first. Eat these words that's in this Bible. You got to eat them. These basic instructions before leaving life, because no basic instructions before leaving life. Basic, simple, but boy, they ain't easy. For you shall do these things that are done, basic instructions before leaving life. Love yourself, love thy neighbor. What Christ said when the disciples asked him if you have to sum up the Bible. But in order to do that, it's hard. Simple. It's simple, but it's hard to get to. Let go, let God. We don't wrestle. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. But when you look out at the world, what are they doing all the time? Division, wrestling. Well, I'm a Christian. Well, I'm a Lutheran. Well, I'm a Muslim. I'm this. I'm that. Well, I'm black. Well, you white. Well, you this. You that. You this. You that. Y'all get caught in that foolishness. Who are you? Thou art the Son of Man. Who are you? physical level, I don't know. But I believe on the spiritual level, I do. And I'm going to give it over to you, God. For I know I wear the name. Who are you? You just got to know it. Know it. You are. You wear the name. But you have to be vulnerable and give it up. You have to know the things that are eternal and know that it's real. Know that that word cuts through flesh, bone. Okay, it cuts like a double-edged sword. Bone, marrow, dividing. It's dividing. It's layers to this, y'all. So you might think, oh, I got this word in the physical, but it has to go down. We're not just physical beings. You have to study the body. We're emotional. We're spiritual. We have an aura about us, a chi in us. It's so much that goes with this. There is no way we can figure it out. We have to let go and let God. But I tell you, when you can do that, it's going to be powerful. That's the weapons. Our weapons are our warfare are not carnal. They're not strong, rather. They're made strong. So we can't do it by ourselves, y'all. Well, we can't. We can't. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but they're going to try to wrestle against us because we wrestle not against them because we know it's really not the real them. Almost like zombies, they're dead. They cannot see. No eyes to see, no ears to hear. Deaf, blind, and dumb. They're ignorant. What ignorance is not being stupid. Ignorance is ignoring something important. What are you ignoring that's really important in your life? What you can see or what God's trying to tell you that you can't see? What are you ignoring? Because only ignorance breeds certain things. And when you ignore certain things, you're actually opening the door for sin. And the wages of sin is what? It's death, but you shall not surely die. When you look up the etymology of death, it's complaining, it's being upset, it's being mad. It could be a physical death. It can be being deaf, so you can't hear. It's a plethora of things that comes along with it. So yes, you may not surely die, but you will die. You will be deaf because you can't live. You can't live. You're not in life. You're not eating life. That's why God said, don't eat of this tree. Don't worship them idols. For when you eat of it, you shall surely die. What did we catch there? God gave word. It was up to us, just like in the garden, to keep it. God gives the word. It's up to us to keep it. We actually have it. What do you call what is it? You have these treasures hidden in you in earthly vessels. Christ in me, the hope of glory. Faith is the things hoped for. I always screw this up, but oh well, you get it. The things hoped for, but the evidence of things unseen. You have that hope, the hope of glory. Your glory is in you, but you build it. It's like you build it up, strengthen it by putting your energy on it, rather than putting your energy out in the world with the things you can see. You have to strengthen it by taking time and getting instructions from God to strengthen it and build it. Build that hope into faith, which is a substance. That means it's real. It's a substance, but you just can't see it. You just can't see it. And you build it, you move in mountains. invisible mountains, invisible barriers. Because as I said earlier, and I really am about to end this, you are bringing down principalities. What was our job? Evilness in heavenly places. What was our job? We got to connect these words like we connect puzzles. What's our job? To bring heaven down to earth. That's our job. How can we do it? How do we do it though? It's because it's not car. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. We can't wrestle these zombies. They don't even know what they're doing. They just boom. They're caught. They're in the future, or they are in the the past. They're dead. Don't let the dead bury their own dead. Nobody norm that I've heard will put these things together like I put them together, and that's very humbling, very humbling. And one of my problems is sometimes I'm too humble. But God knows my heart. That's why God chose me, because one of my battles is knowing that I'm worthy. I said earlier, the simple things, the people who get idolized and have these big egos, and people think, well, if something gonna happen, it gotta happen with one of them. That's what the world is watching. That's why the world missed it. The light entered the world, and the world seen it not, because the world was idolizing something else. The world was worshiping something else that they could see. But the sons of God, the light of the Son of Man, the light, the real life, the real disciples was focusing on the things that you cannot see in the now, because everybody that besides them are stuck in the past or the future. The true sons can see clearly right now they're present, because it's open. That's the open door. That's the open door where we bring down those principalities by just believing that we're worthy. The John the Baptist, the man, whatever he was a Baptist. That was what he was born. He was born to be a Baptist, and said was the most exalted Baptist. He knew Christ was coming. Said it was one, but what happened? What did John do that we have a tendency of doing? We got to eat this so we can correlate our situations and different things with this word. And John said John was a bad Baptist, and by bad I mean good. Man, he was the man. So when Christ came, what do you think gonna come to? Come to the bus. Depending on how good you are, what you do, you might be around a certain crowd, and you the big fish. But you just don't know how big a fish might come that might be presented to you. And you might not even be able to see it. You're probably not going to believe that, but this word's telling you. And when it presents itself, not only when Christ appears, will you be, even if you believe it, will you be able to see it? Will you be able to feel it? That's why we got to strengthen the things we can't see, because as we strengthen that feeling, that still voice more and more, we be able to get it better and better and strengthen it. And when it comes times and seasons, we're able to discover it. But when you get to that point, and you all these principalities, you knocking them out, bringing them all down, and you going from glory to glory to glory, because you was able to let go and let God, but not knowing when. But when it happens, if something that's you like, whoa, this is big. I know, God, you told me I had a big calling, but this is big. You may not have $100 million behind you. You may not have 100 million followers. And you have to know you're not made worthy because of anything man did. You're made worthy because of God. God said you were. John the Baptist said, one has come. I'm not even worthy to tie his, well, not shoe at the time, sandals. No one told John, yeah, he had to be worthy. That's why Christ came. Christ said, I made you worthy. I made you worthy. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. You have to be very careful not to idolize. Because a lot of times people really, if you don't study these words, if a person give you their words, they will give you your thoughts, that will give you your actions, that will give you your life. So no matter where you think you're getting the words from, you have to truly dissect those words. You have to really know what that word is saying. Adultery, what it is, what is it? Am I idolizing people? Am I just not taking reverence? Wow, that's good. I can appreciate that gift. But if that person was placed in front of me and had to get a real word, would I have the confidence, even if it might offend that person, to tell that person the truth from your spirit, spirit and truth, because you're living in your truth, no matter who or what it is? Will I have the gumption, the gall to do that, but do it very humbly? Let go, let God. No, you're not doing it. That's why you have to let go also and let God, because if you think you can do it, that was Lucifer's mistake. We got to learn from that. Lucifer said, man, I'm the man. I might as well be doing it. And we read that, but are we listening? Are we really getting it? Because a lot of us, including myself, we tend to do that. I'm, I'm God. I can do it. Fleshly, I can do it. Even though that's not what makes you strong. You reading it, but are you getting it? When a problem hits, I can do it. When you be in spiritual warfare and you're being attacked and you trying to wrestle back. When it said we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, they gonna wrestle against you though. How you see it? Say we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. Them zombies. We have to stay in the spirit so we can get them out of that bondage. That's why we have to go through bondage. We have to feel it. We have to be tried. We have to become our diamond to know we real. We real. And then we go back. And to do that, it ain't doing it with flesh. Even though you've been programmed to believe that for so long that you don't even know it. That's a program. It's unconscious. Automatic nerve system. It's on auto. You don't know it. You don't even recognize it. All the traumas that you didn't get rid of, that you just suppressed, you didn't deal with. Some people call it the shadow work, dark night of the soul. You didn't deal with it. And with the work, you want to get around it, you just can't. You can't. And the thing about it is made so simple. Express your truth. Express it. It's hard. You might cry, whatever it is. Learn who you are. Now that's out of there. I dealt with it. God, who am I? Begin to tell me who I am. Begin to let me see. Begin to let me hear. Begin to let your thoughts be my thoughts on a constant basis. Not just when I feel it. Who am I? And begin to walk in your true calling. We're not gonna wrestle. We're learning the weapons of our warfare and how it's strong. Faith works. Faith works. You think, Napoleon, you think and grow rich. But we taught you gotta work. And even if we hear it, we might read it, and you have to understand it to live it. You really have to get it. In all things, get truth. But what is truth? Understand. Do you truly understand it, understand it, and then overstand it? Thoughts. Yeah, they coming at me. Yeah, they doing this, they doing that, they talking about me. But my thoughts are now. My thoughts are on God. My thoughts are on my mission. My thoughts are on strengthening my disciples. My thoughts are inwardly strengthening myself. My thoughts are, okay, I need this 2 hours and 40 minutes or more to spend with God so I can know I need to tithe that because it ain't mine. And as hard as it might be, as busy, I'm talking to myself, as busy as you might be, to sacrifice it and say, okay, I'm going to let go. I'm going to let go. I'm going to let God. So simple. Old Testament is going out, knives, slashing, warriors. No, we got to become mental warriors. A battlefield of the mind, the heart, the soul, the spirit, the unseen. To be able to just sit back, relax, calm. I'm gonna let you handle it. It's gonna be handled. Something that simple. When you could be in chaos, and it's that. Come on now, come on. Let's be real. It sounds good to say, but when you have to do it, but when you have to talk to someone who's beginning their journey, and that person is placed in front of you, if you wasn't tried and true, could you really talk to them and be real? Could you say the word, but say, I didn't really live it, God? Can you tell them, look, I failed. But you know what? I kept failing, but I started to get it. So I'm gonna give you a word, but you tell them, look, you may hear some of it, but I really want you to get it. And I want you to stick with you because sometimes you're just talking to people's subconscious. It's for you to deliver it. And when you went through it, so much more passionate, so much stronger. You don't feel like a hypocrite where you like, yeah, but you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do that. Yeah, it sounds good when you ain't never had to, so you got to go through it. But you know you coming out. You know it. You coming out in a true strong mind, even in a prison. Have calmness, not rushing. That's when time go by like that. How do I know? Because I've done it. 2 weeks in jail, physical jail, right? Every day they say, you coming out, you coming out, you coming out. It made that first week and a half feel like it was 6 months. Mine everywhere. And it made it so much worse because they keep oh, you coming out, and you coming out, you coming out. Guy came, he told me, he said, you know what, man? Best thing in here is to act like you're not even gonna get out at all. In my physical, my conscious mind, I was like, oh, thanks, bro. But my conscious mind said, like we say things, but it's not what we thinking. So I thought so strong. My conscious mind was like, okay, buddy. Like, hey, I don't know what you did, but I ain't do nothing. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be out of here soon. Something was like, you know what? Began playing cards, and it was like when time started going like this, and then the guard said, Smith, you out. I was like, am I? I know, hey, I didn't want to stay in there. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'm definitely not saying go to no jail. No, no, no. I'm giving an analogy now. Get the meat of this. It's just saying I don't know how long, I don't know when, but when we focusing on when, how can we fix it? How long, God? How long, God? They cried out. How long, God, before you avenge us? They cried out from the grave. How long? Or are we just not gonna question God and we're gonna say we're gonna let go and let God because we have free will. We don't have to let go. We don't have to let go. God, what I said earlier, God honors his word above his own name. Yeah, we the name, but he honors his word above his own name. We have free will. We don't have to let go. But then we can't let God operate. Let go and let God. Let go, no matter what it is. Let go. Let go. Do what you feel you need to do day by day, inch by inch. Get your order, focus, discipline in all areas of your life. What you eat, how you sleep. Another big example, real quick. That's a good example of it. Work. You know, when you work, when you're physically working, it requires 4 hours of sleep. It's scientifically proven. 4 hours. But when you think, your thoughts, when you're thinking constantly, do you know that requires 8 hours to build your mind back up? All the work, we see movement. This stuff is real. 8 hours to build from thinking. While you think and grow rich. But I always thought think and grow rich monetarily. Think and grow rich in all areas of life. Order, focus, discipline. Masculine part of the brain. That's the 20%. But letting go is the biggest thing. That all that power. That way you know how to direct it. Because you're not directing it. It's directing you. You have direction. Because now, God say, put me in all things that you do. That don't mean you have to be godly 24/7 or what the world persists of God. No, that means include me. Okay, financially, something going on. Okay, maybe you're going to be in bondage for a while, and you're going to have to go through this for a while. Okay, but when you come out, I'm gonna start giving you what to do, so you'll be ready when you come out. That's simple. This is what you do in this area. Okay, another area. I want a mate. I want that. Whatever, all those areas. Okay, you're gonna be here for a while. No man gonna know the time, an hour. You're gonna be here for a while. But here, do this. Boom, boom, boom. Just prepare. Just prepare. Just prepare. That's right here. God said, just prepare. Just prepare. Just prepare. Just prepare. Just prepare. You don't spend your time like in jail. You don't spend your time crying, worrying, and trust me, I've been there because you're in body. You don't spend your time doing all that complaining. It ain't fair. Sometimes it's not gonna be fair physically. The world's definition of fair, you put all your energy on that, and what happens? That brings more of it. That's how it works because you're focused on it, and that's what your energy is focused on. That's what's gonna grow. But when you're focused on the order to focus, okay, so God told me, okay. God told Noah, build the ark, build the ark. It's in the flood. Hmm. Read it, but not a million days, not a million years do we think it's gonna really relate to our life. So what do? We're gonna take a physical meaning of what this means, and we're gonna leave it there. You're not gonna get the meat of it. God said, build the ark. Okay. No rain, build the ark. It's in the flood. Now I'm gonna tell you what to take. Give directions. It wasn't physical. I was giving directions, telling you what's gonna happen. Tell my people what's gonna happen. Everybody laughing. What you doing, building the ark? Why? What you doing? That's world is gonna look at you like you crazy. What are you doing? It sounds so crazy, but God told you to do it. Like building the ark, build it. Why? God told me to. Do 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 do. What are you going to be looked at? Like I said earlier, like you're insane. And that's not just what makes you insane. You know what else I lived? When you do it, it's a chance. I'm saying it's going to happen to you. We individualized, but when you do it, it's going to look like they were right. Man, this happened, that happened. I told this, but then they're going to spread. This fool was down here building the ark. All this stuff going on in his life, and this fool is building an ark. He busy. Busy doing what? Build it. He's lost his mind. lose who you in the world perceive and think you are in order to get what God has for you. You must give your life to get your life. So don't ever in your life say another person. Like I can do all things, but you still and naturally when somebody was, so I killed you. You said you're son of God. If I shot you, would you die? I could take your life. Don't you ever let nobody say they can take your life. The only way it's possible for something to take your life because they didn't give it. And also, it was already given. You gave your life. God say, you got to give it to me. So how you going to take something that was already gone? It ain't yours to take. It can't be taken. That's why Christ said, I gave my life. Never get that confused. Never get that confused. That they may take your life. No, 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 no. That's mental. You will be in a mental bondage. They cannot control your thoughts. They cannot control how you react. That's why Christ was so in control. And it didn't make sense. Are you getting beat? You getting this? He said, pray for him. He knew they wasn't even doing it. It was already ordained. It was allowed to happen because that was what was necessary for the sins of man. It's had to happen. Your purpose has to happen. And in order for it to happen, you got to get your life. What it looks like to you, what it feels like to you, what you thought your life was. No matter how smart, talented, or exalted you might feel that you are, you're not. I promise you, you're not. You are not all that in a bag of chips. I promise you that. And I promise you, once you do it and you give your life and you come like a little child, what do children? If Michael Jordan came to a 3-year-old, do you think it's Michael Jordan? If Michael Jordan came and took a ball from a kid, he's going to be crying, let me get my ball back. You know who you are? Not against Jordan. That's my favorite basketball player. But I'm just saying, someone, I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Ivan. You want to be like you. See, because who they say, who they exalt, they say, I want your attention. I want your attention because I want you to worship this golden calf. Making sense now. I want you to eat of that diet. I want you worshiping what we said you gonna worship. And if you say you not gonna worship what the world said and what everybody else been worshiping for decades, and you not gonna worship it, I'm about to send hell, like the fury of hell your way. Until you say, oh, no, okay, no, God, it's too much. It's the only way. Two ways. Settle. Say, okay, I denounce. Like Sarah said, what Joe's wife said, denounce that God. Denounce him. You complain, curse the day he was born, did all it. Did not denounce God because he didn't have to hear. Outwardly, like even do nothing. But to be strengthened inwardly, you got to really get that message. Read Joe. Really read it, listen to it, audio, visual, kinesthetic, because we are living this. All three of the learning styles, mind, body, soul. Get all of them, because you're going to need it. Say, denounce that God. Look at all this that's going on. Curse yourself, like, look, man, why was I? You go, cursing could be questioning yourself. Is this really it? Am I really on my mission? I don't know. I don't know. It don't feel. Question yourself, but don't question the God. To keep that faith in God. If you have to question, are you making the right moves? Okay, but never question God's plan for your life and how long it may take to get there, how it's going to look, the people that's going to get sent your way. The people that you may have known, but you didn't know them because you didn't know yourself. How can you say you love me, God, who you cannot see, but you don't love the man that you can? You knew the past, who they were then. You don't know what God's going to see. Some things is unseen. People might have been out your life while they getting built up because they had to get the everyone. You think it's just the bad that get taken. No, a lot of things will get taken out of your life for a reason or a season. But that doesn't mean some things may not get brought back. Had to be taken because it had to be built back up, and then it gets brought back. And your job is to discover, okay, what to do with it, how to relate to it. It, her, him, the situation, the 20%. But the battle is really not ours. It's not. We have no say so when it's going to end. We have no say so when it's going to start. We have free will of thought. I'm going to end it there. Stay strong. Just stay strong. Let go and let God.